On. What's going on, people? What's going on? Told you I'll be back soon and everything. We're getting things going a little bit early, so maybe I can do a video later. Hope you guys can hear me clear. You guys can hear me clear. We'll wrap a little bit, meaning talk about some subjects that I want to talk about and everything. Hold on a second. The last USB device. Yo, what's up? What's up, people? I'm on YouTube Live. YouTube Live, Kasim Lamar, Dream Big Podcast. Come through. Come check it out. What's up? What's up? What's up, peoples? Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm doing an early one, so maybe I can do a later one tonight if the lady allows me. Because Little Man is something else and everything. Let me show you this little thing. Love it. You can't read it and everything. But it's, family. I love these little things. I got it all around my living room, little quotes and stuff like that, and try to read them to my son every so often and everything. Again, I'm on YouTube Live. Subscribe to me or like whatever you want to do. It's Kasim Lamar Dream Big Podcast and everything. Yeah, man, I want to talk about this big, huge subject that I've been wanting to talk about since yesterday, and how the kids. It was many kids this week. I'm gonna say about 6, 7 kids this week got murdered. You know what I'm saying? CNN had it on for a few minutes. They put it on they're put it on their site and stuff like that. But a lot of other what you call a lot of other mainstream media sites is not doing talking about this. Actually, I had a conversation with a friend of mine this morning, this morning, this early afternoon. We had a manly discussion about certain things. Two high level thinking men conversating, trying to get what's really our perspective. I actually wish I recorded it, but yeah, I don't know if he would have allowed that. But we had an in-depth conversation about many things, and stuff like that. But let me get to the story. I know if you're on YouTube, you see what I put up there. Those couple of kids. I think it's 4 kids in that photo, but there was about 6 or 7 kids that the mainstream media is somewhat talking about. Got killed over the weekend. And they got about 3 of them out. I'm gonna play the recordings of what the I think CNN put out about the kids, and I'm doing a real ghetto. I'm trying to have a situation where Facebook. I'm on YouTube Live, so I'm talking, with live, Facebook Live and YouTube Live, just to let you know. All right, hold on 1 second. And again, black man protect your seed. Real simple thing. And I feel as though that people don't understand that, and no matter what another black man says, especially in this particular area where I'm at, they don't get it. They don't get what I'm saying, and people think it's a game, but it's not. It's obviously not. The things that we're going through as a nation is crazy, to say the least. But the things that we're going through as a Black American community within our community is even worse. And people don't really don't. I don't know if they get it or want to get it. You know what I'm saying? But this is extremely. This is the stuff that's going on often, and and we just don't get the fact of the matter is, in order for us to protect ourselves from within, this is going to have to be. We're gonna have to check ourselves. We're gonna have to understand who we are. You know, you have to protect your seed because no one else is protecting your seed. If you don't protect anyone else, you have to protect your seed. And we got our kids getting killed unjustly, and you know, it feels for the most part like people really don't care. They want to talk about what the mainstream media is talking about, and that's Black Lives Matter. And you know, and what I discussed with a friend of mine on Black Lives Matter is, you know, the differences that we had from one another and the actual stuff that we agreed with when we had this conversation. Um, I'm trying to get this story because I want you guys to hear it, hear the news and what they said and everything. So I'm gonna play this and stuff, you know, for the people that didn't hear this already. For the people that didn't, the story came out yesterday. A lot of murders happened over the weekend. Stuff, you know, in New York, Chicago. Unbelievable, unbelievable. But I'm gonna play this real quick so you guys can hear it. Hold on one second, guys. You gotta wait until this. You know how the commercials are when you play videos. And then, you know, I play this and we're gonna come back with and what I think about this. Hope you can hear it.
Innocent kids across the U.S. were shot and killed in senseless gun violence over this holiday weekend. Here are pictures of just 4 of them. All of these children under the age of 14. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said his city saw too much violence this weekend, with at least 60 victims, 44 different shootings. As CNN's Nick Valencia reports, this is coming as the nation sees it. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said his city.
Hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna play that back. Hold on just 1 second. Sorry about that. Here we go.
Across the U.S. were shot and killed in senseless gun violence over this holiday weekend. Here are pictures of just 4 of them. All of these children under the age of 14. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said his city saw too much violence this weekend, with at least 60 victims, 44 different shootings. As CNN's Nick Valencia reports, this is coming as the nation sees an uptick in gun violence after scrutiny on racial bias in policing.
7-year-old Natalia Wallace was playing with her cousins in the front yard of her Chicago area home. In Hoover, Alabama, Royte DeMarco Giles Jr. had just finished 2nd grade and was walking in the mall. 8-year-old Secoria Turner was out on a drive with her mother in Atlanta. These young faces are among the at least 6 children shot and killed in what was a violent 4th of July holiday weekend.
Enough is enough.
An emotional Atlanta mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, struggled as she begged anyone with information about Secoria's killing to come forward.
We're fighting the enemy within when we are shooting each other up on our streets in the city. Shot and killed them. There wasn't one shooter, there were at least 2 shooters. An 8-year-old baby.
In Chicago, Natalie Wallace's family described their soon-to-be 2nd grader as sweet, shy, loving, and good at math.
It's sad. You hear this on the news every day that a child get killed, somebody get killed, but you don't think about it until it's your own.
Summer months in cities like Chicago tend to come with a rise in shootings, but it's never easy to accept, especially when the victims are so young.
I don't have words.
The boy's grandfather founded the Guardian Angels in D.C., spending years fighting against gun violence, only to outlive his grandchild, who was struck by a bullet when he got out of the car to go into his aunt's house to get a phone charger.
Being out here and fighting for all these years, I never thought it would actually get a home.
The children killed over the weekend were as young as 6 and as old as 14.
They already had dreams and aspirations in the music industry.
Young lives with hopes and dreams of their own. Lives cut short on what was meant to be a weekend of celebration.
I want to see the same anger and outrage I want us to see it on behalf of Sequoia and all the other people and children who are getting shot in our streets. It's a lot of change that has to happen across this country.
One child killed is enough to create outrage, but 6 killed in 72 hours? Some may call that a national wake-up call. And here in the state of Georgia, Governor Kemp has decided to do something about it just a short time ago, declaring a state of emergency to activate as many as 1,000 National Guard members to patrol the streets of the state. Pamela?
All right. Thank you so much, Nick Valencia.
Yeah. So you heard that story. I got a couple more stories that I want to bring out. I might do that tonight, but let's talk about specifically our children. Something that we don't actually embrace in protecting our children. I think that's mainly a national thing. The society we live in. In my perspective, I think we lack protecting our children. You have situations where killings are being unjust, and you also have it where the mindsets of over sexualizing our children to a point that we must accept it in order to have our kids in particular, what you call in particular schools. We have to over sexualize them with, knowing that sexuality before they're 14, before they're 13, 12, 11. And also we have to, and then the killings of our children. What you guys don't realize and understand is that the children should be the number one priority in this society for us to protect. It's like they talk about protecting, and this is my opinion. I suppose as a black man, I'm supposed to protect the woman that frankly don't want to be protected. You know what I'm saying? Before I protect my own children. And I just don't get this. Again, before I go forward, please like and subscribe my channel, if you would, and we leave it from there. Well, and then I just want to go about a certain thing that I want to say. Different elements. It's like certain, like my homeboy, he called me today. We had a discussion because another video I put out about a brother getting killed on the streets of whatever he was at. Got shot. I don't know what he got shot specifically at, but I know a hand reached out of the car, and with a gun, of course, while the man that got shot was walking across the street. Right in front of his daughter. His daughter ran the other direction, and then another guy ran. I don't know. It was a guy that was just standing on the street. And he said to me, what's the problem with what's the situation with, like, did they say it was a black guy or whatever, and and I said, I've been hearing that a lot. Like, if it was a black guy or not, it's like it doesn't even matter. The whole ordeal, but I understood what he said. He might not took offense, but because he's a brother that don't take offense to things, he's a brother that mainly he look at as a big picture, like most people don't do. They don't look at things from a big picture. He looked at it as a big picture. What was underneath the photos about the Trump thing and stuff like that, and are you going to blame Trump for this and that? And I said to him, no. I said, I can understand why a person will ask me about that situation and everything, but they don't have enough. That to me, with that, I put it up there because I wanted to put with the person that I shared it with was underneath where the guy got shot across the street while he was walking across the street with his daughter. I just wanted to share what the person put there. So, for all that being said, it was just a situation where I felt as though I wanted to let people know that this is what, my people especially, Black Americans, I wanted to let them know that, hey, we have to, especially Black men, we getting enemies from all, from every direction. It's not just from the police and stuff like that. If we're gonna, I'm the type of person, I don't just look. I'm not gonna look at one situation. I used to be like that. I used to feel like I was a one-dimensional person, and I'm looking at a short frame. I don't care. It's like a tunnel vision. That's what I'm looking at. No, I'm more. I more see an outer look of things, and I had to tell, and I had to, let people know I'm not gonna just be putting, you know, Black Lives Matter shit out and stuff like that. And I have a lot of things that I don't agree with them about, what things are going on and stuff like that. I don't, for my opinion, I feel as though Black Lives Matter is not doing nothing but getting a whole lot of, fun from people. They be being funded, and they also getting a whole lot of, uh, gestures, like in sports where they're going to have the back, it's going to say Black Lives Matter on the courts and stuff like that. That's all great. Like I've been saying from many, many different situations, that's cool. That's cute. But no, I want something that's going to protect Black American people. And then and also I want to put in the framework is that when I say these things, and this is another thing he had a problem with, and it was a problem that I can understand. When I say certain things, uh, to make my people be held accountable for what they do, and then also, it's to me it's constructive criticism. To me it is. I'm not being one of them Uncle Times, like, one of them Uncle Tom dudes or whatever you want to call them, dudes that just gonna, not gonna look at exactly what, non-Black people are trying to do to us, being subconsciously or physically. I'm not that guy, but I'm going to check my people too. I want that to be known. I'm going to check my people too, without a doubt. And that's the thing that I was doing. That's why this is, I make sure that I want to make sure Black men understand you must protect your seed. I don't care what people think. And, to bring it to that point, so when I'm protecting my own people, that don't mean that I want other non-Black folks to get into our business. So as I was saying to my homeboy this morning, when the Asian community, the East Indian community, the Hispanic community, we go on and on. Jewish community, Italian community, Irish community. When something's within their community, and they have to discuss from one another, and they doing constructive criticism, either on social media or not on social media, is within. Nobody say anything. Nobody says nothing. But when a lot of brothers that I'm seeing on social media that's seeing, thinking on a three-dimensional stratosphere instead of two-dimensional emotional sphere, that, just looking at one thing, tunnel vision, that's it. Not looking at what's going on within our community. So when I see all that, when I see somebody getting into our business, I would check a non-Black person in a minute about that, because it's not your business. It might, people, like, just like my homeboy say, it's like people gonna think differently, and I understand that. But when I'm discussing stuff that got to do with Black folks, actually Black men, to be better men, I'm not discussing it for another white man or Hispanic man or Asian man or East Indian man, Middle Eastern man, to get in our business. We can have a discussion somewhere else, but don't get into. You can conversate with me, but don't get into a situation where, because I know how we supposed to work from within. Because I'm watching strong coaches and how they create for their people. You know what I mean? I'm watching them people. I'm watching how they understand what it means to work within your family. You understand me? I'm doing that. I'm not looking at how people feel, like how they do. I'm making constructive criticism all over. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say. And I'm gonna do the duty that I need to do to make sure that I'm not making people, feel like that I'm just blaming them, because I'm not. I'm actually not just blaming them. You know what I'm saying? I know it's stuff in this society to keep the black man down. I know, to keep the black man to what he's at. We see it on social media all the time. We see it on mainstream media all the time. I see it every day. Anybody with a brain should see this, but there's a lot of brothers don't really see that because they only see it one-sided. They try to keep us down, and this is how it's going to be. I see it in the way they trying to keep us down. So that's work more constructively together as other non-blacks do. And no matter what they try to do to us, we'll be stronger. You know the saying, you're stronger together than you are apart. This is a real saying. You're stronger together than you are apart. So how we gonna keep on having all these excuses of what other people are doing to us when we're not strong from within? And again, I'm still in the same qualifications. I'm still trying to build myself up at, like I said yesterday in my live and my YouTube live and stuff like that. I'm trying to build myself from the bottom to the top, and I'm getting there. I'm getting to the top, but I'm not going to be the dude. Again, I'm never going to be PC. I'm going to tell it on both sides. I'm not going to just tell it on one side. If you want to stream, be in a situation where you don't care what are we doing, you don't care the fact that we're killing each other and stuff like that. We're not working together. We're more killing each other. If you don't want to talk about that, that's your thing. That's exactly what me and my homeboy discussed. But you can also, but if a person's talking about the exact opposite of you, another black man is talking about the exact opposite of you, don't be mad at him, and vice versa. Because to be honest with you, I'm talking about both. I'm talking about self-hate from within and outside hate. I'm gonna always talk about that because self-hate from within, in my opinion, is way worse than outside hate. There's brothers that I know of that would rather a white man say the things that I'm saying. It's more brothers that I know that they would rather a white man to say the same things that I'm saying, and then they agree with him fully. It's like nobody, and we was discussing that in our conversations today as well. You know, again, like and subscribe. Facebook, just letting you know I'm doing YouTube live as well. It's Cashapp Lamar, Dream Big, a podcast. You know what I'm saying? But this is the difference between people like me and people like the mainstream. The mainstream gonna tell you what you want to hear. Gonna want you to join into the sheep to the sheep dynamic. Don't know what you're talking about. You're not happy from within. You're following behind all these agents of chaos and everything, but you're right. You're 1,000% right. Everybody else that's doing the opposite of you or just doing both sides of the thing is, they wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. And it's a shame. It's a daggone shame on how mentally unstable, how mentally that a lot of these people want black men to be. And I'm talking about from within, you know, and I'm talking about how classless this world is beginning to be, how delusional this world is beginning to be. And I don't know about anybody else. I don't, I'm here to put some type of knowledge into the brains of these young black males. I don't care which people say. It's a lot of things that I'm climbing up, and me and my homeboy discussed this morning as well. It's a lot of things that I have planned to do, but I'm not going to say my whole plan on what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. I'm just, I thank God. I'm gonna pray to God every day to give me strength to do what I'm supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how it's going to be. You know, but again, I will never be PC when I see things are going on. When I see things, we're not protecting our children as we supposed to in the black community. As a black man, we're not protecting our children. And I'm supposed to not talk about that. No, it's not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. You can talk about that one-dimensional mind thing, that quote-unquote pro-black thing. You can talk about all that. You can talk about that wokely woke thing. You can do all that. Well, are you going to talk about both? Or you going to just disrespect the next man or the next woman that's looking at the world in a three-dimensional stratosphere? In a way that we could find a solution from within, because it's bad. The numbers are bad. What we going through in our society, in our neighborhoods and stuff like that, it's horrible. Black Lives Matter. Keep in my home way. He was right about a certain thing and stuff. How their groups are. They talk about people hurting black people. Okay, they saying it out loud, or they put some justice in it. I don't think it's justice. They putting attention on it, because black people still don't have no justice. I don't care how many cops you arrest. I don't care how many cops that how many videos we have and stuff like that. When I see a cop get 50, 60 years for murdering my brother and my sister, then I say, oh, okay, this is productive. Something going on. But until then, I'm seeing other groups like, again, the white LGBTQ plus, the women's rights groups, the immigration groups. They're getting all the stuff that we are trying to get, that we are fighting for. And it's not just been the last month. It's been for the last 50, 60 years. Black people have been fighting for other people since the beginning of freaking time, especially in the last 50, 60 years. We, and another conversation that we had, most black folks don't want to be around most black folks. And they think that's how we solve the problem. And I used to think that for a long time, because I was brainwashed into thinking those certain things. But you're not going to solve no problem like Black Americans are doing, especially our men. Wanting any type of woman to lead you. I can see a woman that's in her mind. I can see if it's the woman that's in her mind to be the best woman she can be. But you haven't just any type of woman leading you. Any woman, any agent of chaos, any woman that lives in a do thy will state of mind. As a black man, you can't afford none of that. You can't afford for that to happen. You can't look at what that young man that post that I put on Facebook. Look at that video and then shake your head and then go back to blaming non-black people what they doing to us. Again, it starts from within. If you're strong in numbers, people would think twice. People would think twice of coming at you. And again, a non-black person can agree what I say or not agree what I say. It's not for them to get in my comments if if they trying to tell me something different about like a globalist mindset. I'm not that guy. It's many black males, especially in my area, that would do that. That will talk to you because a lot of them are self-haters. So you can go right to them and talk to them about what you think about what a black man, what how black people need to, like me, need to just come together with the rest of them, and being unified. That never helped black people. Segregation, for the most part, destroyed the black unity. This is facts. You can say what you want. Segregation, for the most part, destroyed black communities, from education-wise to economics, to mentally, without a doubt, with all the self-hate. You know what I'm saying? And so many different attributes. Socially, is everything destroyed us. The last 40, 45 years, most of our black families, most of our people, if you're not working for the white man, they think you ain't living right. If you're working for yourself, they think you don't have the best benefits. This is the mindset. 70, 80 years ago, black people that I looked up, and that were both my grandfathers, they were different. They actually wanted to be entrepreneurs, and they actually, didn't value what the white man told them to be, or any other non-black person told them to be. So that's who I am. I'm that guy 50, 70 years ago that's worried about what's going to happen in my life for me to be the provider and the protector. This is why I have this platform that I have. My platform is not for everybody. It's not for most people, to be honest with you, because most people in this society, they don't want to get checked like this mentally and socially. They don't want to get checked because everybody wants to be around people that's dumber than them, or not as smart as they are. No, I want somebody that can influence me to be a better person. Influence me because I'm a human being. We all need to learn from each other. I get that. But when you're dealing with your race of people that's in a low totem pole, it's something that got to give. We got to come together. God, the Most High see this. The Most High see this, how we want to come together with everybody else, how we want to contradict everything that we do, but don't want to see what we need to change as people. So you damn right, I want the black man to protect his seed because nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is doing it. I'm not saying, all women is doing a bad job. I'm not saying that at all. There's some good women out there that's doing a really good job. But from my perspective, a far few in between, because everybody is not looking in the aspect of family. Family. You have to have a patriarchy household, and you have to have a matriarchy household. And if the father's not there, you better make sure that he's good enough when shit get, I'm gonna say it from because it's not working with, in this society again. I think that what you call that? I think the feminine divine is number one on everybody's priority. Speaking to the man, as a man, you must choose your woman correctly. You must, any woman that you bear children with, you must. I'm telling you, I made a mistake. Hundreds of men made a mistake. In this society, they promote the simpleton beta male man. They promote the man that makes bad decisions like it ain't never had before. When I was living a simpleton beta male life, You know what I'm saying? These women was promoting me, but now I'm the type of person that's thinking before, that's thinking other than my penis. A lot of women don't want to deal with it. A lot of women don't want to deal with that. You thinking other than your penis. And and that's why I say the patriarchy of black men must protect their seed. This don't have nothing to do with non-black people trying to tell us what we need to do. Because again, I grew up in an area where it was 200 to 300 different languages. I've seen these different people, how they were with their families. I seen it. This ain't no watching. I gotta watch TV or social media to figure out how people are. No, I was raised in it. I saw it, and I seen how black folks was doing the exact opposite, especially black men. And as I told my homeboy when we was conversating, the first person now when I talk to non-black men, especially immigrants, they would tell me the problem with black men that they want to be led by their woman, no matter how she is, no matter if she can't even lead herself. We'd rather be led by our woman. And I agree with that. As I got older, I agree with that more and more. I used to think, well, he just want to beat his woman up. But most of their women are freaking, respectful. Their women are extremely respectful. You know what I'm saying? Extremely. And they're respectful to their women. You understand me? And that's what I learned from non-black people, especially immigrants that used to have a conversation with me. Because again, I grew up around about 200 to 300 different languages. I seen how they party together. I seen how they come together when it's time to eat or what have you. I see how they, I see the things that they did, how their culture was so strong and natural. The exact opposite of how black folks been in the last 30, 40 years, 40, 50 years, I should say. And people got a problem with me saying things that's hurting us the most. Got to be out your damn mind. I don't know about you. I'm a realist. I don't speak PC. I want black men. I don't care about nobody opinion about it. I just want black men to become the leaders that they're supposed to become in their own community. I don't give a shit about nothing else. I don't care about nothing else. I want black men to become leaders in their own community. Damn that. You got to come within. You got to make sure your home, yourself first, and your home is strong. Your foundation is strong. Or we're gonna keep on having these kids dying in the goddamn streets because we want to just talk about what's popular. I don't want to talk about what's popular. I don't give a shit. I want to talk about what we need to talk about, what needs to happen, what solutions needs to be, what the solution needs to be. I don't care about these certain men that got a problem with me and it's mostly black men. I don't care about certain men, and I don't name my homeboy that I had a conversation with earlier because we had a constructive conversation. You know how long has it been since I had a constructive conversation with somebody, especially out here? Because they worry about what every non-black person think of. Every non-black person think of them. Instead of what they need to do from within. Sometimes, most of the time, I don't even have a conversation with them. I just smile and say, go on. I'm a smiler. You're right. Because I don't got time for that. I got time for constructive conversations, constructive criticisms, because I know I'm not all the way there. But some reason, a lot of these people think they all the way there for some reason, somehow, some reason, some way. They think they already all the way there. They think they're good because they're following a trend. Fuck a trend. Black people been always following trends, and we always setting trends. Let's actually set a trend that's going to help our children be safe in the streets. Let's do that. How are we going to help our children be safe in the streets? How are we going to help not being shot while we holding our daughter's hand while we walking across the goddamn street? How that's going to happen? How are we going to defend ourselves when race soldiers come in to try to harm us? How that's going to happen? You know how that's going to happen? You're going to have to check yourself. And I don't give a damn what other non-black folks say, if I'm right or wrong, whatever. I don't give a damn. This is about black men protecting their seeds. Anything happen to my daughter, being as though she be over her mother's house, she come here, whatever, and in the past of my son, whatever, somebody happens to my daughter, I promise you, everything was shut down. I did everything that I could to protect my daughter the best way I can, and I know how this society is to men in general, especially black men, when it comes to having authority over their children. I understand that part completely. I've been through it. But what I'm saying to you, I did my part. I never, well, all the shit, all the walls that was in front of me, I was breaking them down. I still did the part that I was supposed to. I try to protect my son and daughter, my oldest son and daughter, as much as I could. But if something happened to my daughter unjustly, something got to happen. Everything got to shut down. And I promise you, and that's to my mother's dying bed. Promise you. And that's protecting your seed physically. Somebody's going to be accountable. But I'm talking about how you going to protect your seed within. How you going to be accountable enough to protect your seed within. That's all I'm trying to break down. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't give a shit if when I do put something on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or whatever. It's not about white people agreeing with me or a non-black person agreeing with me. It's about brothers looking at what I said and think about what I'm saying. Take it from a different perspective than the same perspective you see on fucking TV all the damn time. Take it from that perspective. I don't give two shits about anybody that tells me, okay, what about this and what about that? I'm going to check whatever I want to check. I'm going to be respectful towards it, but I'm going to check whatever I want to check. And if I see it's not nothing's working for my people, I'm going to really check it. And believe, and I don't have to tell people what I'm investing in or what I'm going to do, because I'm not really looking for attention. What I'm looking for is black men understanding, especially young black men, understanding that, hey, you got somebody here that want to give you the knowledge that I have, that want you to understand that you're not in this by yourself. Like I tell these kids that I've been coaching for 18 years, you're not by yourself when it comes to shit like this. I'm not going to tell you when you're wrong, you're right. I'm not going to do that. I won't let you look at it as a man should look at things. Logically, rationally. That's what I'm gonna tell you. That's what I'm not going to have a situation where you're a two-dimensional emotional thinker that's going to get your ass more and more in trouble. That's who I am. And if people don't respect that, hey, that's fine. That's fine. I'm making this platform big enough that it's going to make people see these things. I'm focused enough that I don't need things to come my way. I don't need to be PC. That's the problem. People think, oh, don't say certain things or they're going to look at you. You want to be in the crowd, not out of the crowd. No, you can do that because you don't believe in yourself, but I believe in myself. You know what I mean? So again, Facebook, I'm on YouTube Live. Come on my YouTube Live, like and subscribe. Please do that. Please respect the platform and everything else. And, again, I'm making this about men stepping up, such as myself. Step up, such as myself. All right. And again, like and subscribe for Kasim Lamar Dream Big podcast. And if you have any questions for me or anything, inbox me. Let me know what you think of what I said or what have you. I don't care. I take constructive criticism as well. You know what I mean? So like and subscribe and everything. And YouTube, Facebook, let's get on it. You know what I mean? I'm taking this beyond things. I'm PC. It ain't for me. Being politically correct, it ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Again, black man, please protect your seed. Peace.